Thank you for taking this moment to breathe and to listen to what can change your life forever. My name is Ragnar Zinikas, and I'm the founder of Starpreneurs TV, How to Dominate the Talk Show, World Woman Conference and Awards, and the creator of Columnist. My mission is to empower through education, and I want to thank you who you showed up today, because by doing so, you are investing in your personal growth. Today, we have the honor to bring to you an amazing lady from Atlanta, Georgia, and her name is Robin Shockley. Who is Robin? She's the visionary, she's the blogger, media publicist, community advocate, speaker, talk show host, actress, and author. So welcome, Robin, to the show. Tell us, who is Robin, and why are you doing what you're doing?
Wow. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on your show today. I feel so honored and privileged to be a part of it. But Robin Shockley is just a small town girl with big city dreams, basically. I love people. That's what I'm passionate about. And the reason why I do all the things that you mentioned is because I have a story. I have a story that I came from a pit situation and moved into purpose. And so I took my pit story and chose to rise above and make purpose with it. And so I love working with women. I love working with you. I love working with men. I love working with everyone and just trying to be a positive impact in this generation.
So if someone comes to you and asks, Robin, what is your biggest passion and what is the purpose of your life? What is their answer?
Oh, goodness. My biggest passion is building people while I build myself. So my purpose in life is to impact one generation to another by positive seeds we sow today. And when I say that, by sowing positive seeds, that means sowing into people, investing into people. Not necessarily, Ragnar, investing financially into people, but investing your resources and your time, your wisdom, your knowledge, your experience, and sharing it so it can be a positive impact. So that's my purpose, is in investing into other people and to impact them.
Wow, yes, I totally agree. And I would say that the time invested in someone is much more valuable than any money can ever buy. So that's a beautiful answer. So, Robin, there's millions of actors. There's a lot of people doing what you're doing. What do you think? What is your uniqueness? What draws people to you?
Oh gosh. Well, actually, I just started acting. This is new for me. And actually, to tell you to start off, I'm an interviewer, so I would do red carpet events interviewing people and that were actors and film directors and producers, and they would say, Robin, you need to give this a shot. You need to try this. And I was like, no, not me. They said, but Robin, you have that personality, you have that spunk, you have that charisma. And so I guess what I would say is the reason why people are drawn to me as far as in acting is because I am myself. I don't try to pretend, even though I'm going through the motions of becoming a character, I'm bringing myself out through this. So I guess pretty much it would be that I take who I am and I bring that character to life.
Yes. Beautiful. So let's talk about, you mentioned being an actor and you just started. What was the game changer? Like you were saying, no. What made you to say now yes? And what was your first role?
I think what it was is that because I've wore a mask, Ragnar, for so many years. I come out of a domestic violence marriage. And so I was going through some insecurities about myself, and I wasn't as confident, coming out of all that and stuff. And I was discovering who I was. And so when people said, you can do this, I second guessed myself because I was like, I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not getting up there and pretending to be something I'm not. That was my thing. But when they started telling me, but Robin, you have that opportunity to bring that character to life and you got it, you can do it. That kind of gave me the push to say, you know what? I could do this. And so my first movie that I was in, it was about a woman who had went through a domestic violence marriage. It was a short film. And so I had to actually tap into that character and bring that character to life again. So to me, that was a big accomplishment because I had come out of this and here I was going back into it. But I knew that by sharing this story about domestic violence, through being an actress in this film, it was actually going to help be a positive motivation for somebody else that might need to get their healing. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I love it. I'm enjoying it. It's fun.
So true. Every single story can actually change or even save lives. So that has been my mantra as well. That's the main reason why I started with all of those interviews that we are bringing forth as well. Let's talk about your blogger, media publicist, and career. How long have you done this? And again, why?
Okay. Well, like I said, everything that I have listed, except for being a motivational speaker, started just less than 4 years ago, a little over 3 years. This has happened at one time. And it was the reason to bring it to a book. The reason why I'm starting it is because I lost pretty much everything in my life, start over from scratch when I went through my divorce. And so I didn't know, I knew my identity of who I was, but I didn't know that there was things inside me. I didn't understand what was inside of me. So anyway, I became a blogger because I was connected to who my network producer is now, Regina Sunshine Robinson. She's out of Atlanta, Georgia. And I became a writer for her magazine. I had known her for several years. She was editor-in-chief for actually a magazine. It wasn't her magazine. And so she's like, Robin, you know what, you are blogging all the time on social media. You're writing messages and motivation, positive things on Facebook. You need to put this in my magazine, and you need to have the Focus Forward Robin articles. And I was like, really? Okay. So I thought, well, I'll take what I put on Facebook and I'll transfer it into the magazine. Well, that caught attention. And then other magazines started picking me up and wanted me to freelance with them to write for their magazines. And so it just became a passion. And then through that, I started traveling, around the country, going to different cities and states. And as I was doing that, I was interviewing people on the go. So I was taking the interviews that I was having and I was putting some of them in the magazines. And then on top of that, with the blogging, I started food blogging because it's with tasteful tips and trips, because I'm like, of course, when you travel, Ragnar, you have to eat, of course, right? So I'm like, well, I'm going to go to these restaurants and I'm going to give my reviews of these restaurants. And some of them, they paid me, but some of them I do on my own. It's coming through, and I would put them like either magazines or I just write a blog. If they didn't pay me, I would just write a blog about it on my pages. So that's how I became a blogger. I just started writing. I've always had a passion for writing. And I'll give you a little short story. In 9th grade, I quit journalism class because I was insecure and I was not confident in who I was. So I walked in that class and I was there for I wasn't even in the class a whole week. And I dropped out of the class because I thought, I can't compete. I can't even compare to these people that are in this class. I have no knowledge. I'm not smart. And I literally, my freshman year in high school, I passed with a D-. I barely passed. And now I'm a writer, I'm an author, I'm a blogger, I'm a magazine columnist. So I'm very grateful and humble to God for that, because he helped build that confidence in me that I could do anything I set my mind to. Yeah. So that's how I became a blogger. Yeah.
I would love to see the face of your teacher who put you the D-, and now opening a magazine and like, I wonder if that's the same girl. Beautiful. That's so inspirational. Thank you for sharing that story with us. But Robin, tell us from entrepreneur point of view, because today you are entrepreneur. It doesn't matter what the means are, like how do you do your business, but If you are an entrepreneur in that field,
Mhm.
what are the biggest challenges? And obviously, I'm pretty sure that entrepreneurs have their challenges every day. It doesn't matter how good or bad you are. If you don't have one, then you don't do it right, I think. What have you seen? Like, if there's someone who's looking at this interview and is considering, like you were considering whether to take the opportunity and deep dive or not, what would you say? What were your biggest challenges and how did you overcome them?
My, I would say my biggest challenge was the fear of not having an income, to start. Because a lot of people think to become an entrepreneur, you have to invest a lot of money, because you got to do it this way. You got to pay somebody to help you start a business plan. You got to pay somebody to help you get your logo. You got to pay somebody to help you do this and that. And then you have the resources available to you by getting connected with people. And so that was my biggest fear, is like, I didn't have the money to invest. Remember, I walked out of a marriage of 28 years that my whole life was centered around a man and, him pretty much taking care of things. So I had to start my whole life over. And so what I chose to do with that challenge is I just chose to jump. I just was like, you know what? I'm going to get myself in a room and I'm going to let that room work for me. And at that same time I was doing that, I started building the confidence in myself to get in the room. And then I started investing in my own self by sewing into events. I would look up events that were free, because there's lots of events that cost money, but some of them cost free. And right now we got a lot of virtual events that are going on, right? So I would get myself connected in rooms and I would invest in myself by sewing into myself. And then the challenge of that, to pull all that together, is that not having no money thinking in my mind. But then I'm like, you know what? You have money for everything. So I took what little bit of money that I did get, I became creative, Ragne. I decided to, you know what, I'm gonna do these interviews. It was my network producer that told me. She said, Robin, when I started doing my talk show, the Focus Forward Robin show at her network, she's like, you need to take these on the road. You need to start these with people on the go. And I was like, and call it Focus Forward Robin on the go. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that. So I started doing it. And that's where some of my income is in. And so that helps me, when people, like I said, people fly me all over the country, or I drive and they compensate, my travel expenses and everything to get these interviews with me. And I love it because it's a passion that I have. And I didn't know that just by making that chance and that leap of being creative with my mindset, that I could do something that it would bring income. So I guess my encouragement, Ray, would be to people, don't limit yourself. Don't put boundaries on yourself, because there's boundless possibilities, to achieve your dreams.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
This is so inspirational. And I truly thank you that you took the time today to come and really shared your dream, which has now come true, and two, that you didn't allow yourself to be defined by your circumstances, and you just, instead of having the excuses to say, oh, I can't do it, because saying, okay, how can I do it? This is beautiful. That's absolutely, I think it's like you who you are watching. I hope that you are making notes. If not, go back to this video and start to make notes, because those are the little things, when you tweak in your mind, in your action, in your behavior, those will make huge changes. And wherever you are, you can achieve when you are willing. Sometimes we want things, but we are not actually willing to put the effort and the time and the work into things. So, and Robin is the absolutely on top of that, she has a beautiful name, Robin, no? So it's like everything is aligned. So, but Robin, I have been always intrigued by also the seeing the American dream, and I being from Europe, now living in Mexico, and seeing and how many people always wanting to really work on it, on the field that you're doing, and they always are sort of waiting for their breakthrough or waiting to be discovered. Or what would be your best advice there? Like, where do you really start, or what to like? Sometimes we need to create opportunities ourselves, not to wait for the opportunities. No.
Yes, yes. I believe that the measure of who we are, you know, is what we do with what we have right now. So start where you are, choose to be a survivor of who your own mistakes and run with it and say, okay, you know what? I may fall down during this. I may not, you know, turn out to be the best actress or the best author or the best talk show host. I may not be all these things in the greatest form, but at least I can say, I took the jump. I took the opportunity to run with it to see, you know, take that chance, take that leap, take that jump. That's what I would encourage somebody to do. Never limit yourself. Keep going. Yeah. Focus forward. That's my motto.
Beautiful. But what could you say as a, let's say, practical tip if someone is looking for opportunities in that area? Where to start? Like, where should they find a mentor? Should they? What is the process? Like, I have never been in that. I have no idea. Like, if someone would tell, like, oh, why don't you do that? Then I'm like, I even don't have a clue where to start. So. What would be the best advice there?
Exactly. Because with me, everything that I'm doing, like I said, beside motivational speaking, I didn't never have the experience with this. So yes, definitely get you a mentor, get you a coach, get someone who's willing to invest in you to help guide you and direct you. I have multiple mentors. I have a spiritual mentor. I have a financial mentor. I have a relationship mentor. You know, I have tons of mentors. So, you know, you never can have enough people who can help guide you and point you in the right direction. And I would also say that definitely back to investing in yourself. You know, get yourself connected in a room so the room can work for you. You know, you never know what room you're going to go in. For example, let's talk about the World Women Conference and Awards. Okay. I'm part of the publicity team for the Atlanta chapter. Okay. I actually, right now, I'm out of South Carolina, but I pretty much live in Atlanta because I'm all over the place in Atlanta. But what happened is how I even got connected with the World Women Conference and Awards is because Miss Wanda D. Hollis reached out to me because I had met her like 2 years prior. And she knew my story and she knew the passion about my life and how people. So she reached out to me. So I had got myself in a room a couple of years ago to meet her. If I hadn't have been in that room, I would have never be meeting you today, right? So it's very important to step out of your comfort because I firmly believe, as my sign says, if you think a thing, you can believe it. If you believe it, you will achieve it. You have the power within you to shift that atmosphere to think the possibilities. And so my encouragement tonight is and today is to let people know to just take that lead, get out there and get yourself in the room so it can work for you.
That's great advice. Robin, tell us, we heard about Focus Forward, we heard about blogging, a little of the being an actress. What are the, let's say, we always focus in some projects. Where your focus is? Like, what is Robin going to do in 2021?
Oh, I'm glad that you say that. Every year I get a new word. Okay. Every year I come up with a word. And my first word was to be in my new brave. My second one was new bold. New bold. And then new fearless. And then this year for 2021, my word is new different. So what I'm doing is I'm challenging myself to experience these new differences of getting, stretching myself, to do things that I've never done before, and get out of my comfort zone. So, I wrote a book. It's called Catching the Vision to Focus Forward with a New, Bold, and Brave Life. And so that book there was the foundation. And also another book, I wrote a chapter in the morning. But that was the foundation of my passion for writing. I love to write. So I'm wanting to write more books. I've already got so many titles and chapters already planned out. So in 2021, that's a lot of what my focus is. I'm also a publicist. So I do publicist work for different people. And so I'm between doing the publicist work and the acting, my passion is going to be centered on writing. So who knows what's going to come up? How many more will come forward?
Beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. Robin, what are the projects that are closest to your heart in terms of giving back to community, and what are the topics that you feel the most closest, like by advocating those topics, or what is closest to your heart?
Oh man. The women, of course, the women that are broken, the young women, especially, because they're just starting out or they're feeling trapped and such. So I would say that between the youth ages up to adult women, and that have been going through, insecurities and not being confident, and maybe I'm a domestic violence advocate myself, and so I'm very passionate about that. So I love giving back in community. I'm a humanitarian, so I give, around, other countries. I partner with Come On In Incorporation out of Colorado. I partner with them and I give back. So I love serving community. I love helping the woman see the inner beauty. So what I do is I take up donations for outer beauty products like makeup and jewelry and personal hygiene items, things like that, and we take it to the shelters and we give it to to the women, or we give it to the schools and such, and then we take what we share with them, and then we share our stories about the inner beauty. So I'm very passionate for people to have confidence and to understand that they are loved just by who they are, just for being alive. Yeah.
This is beautiful, Ghost. So I want to thank you for doing that, and really making the world a better place by each one reaches one, as we say. So that's a beautiful work. Robin, what do you see what the future will bring you personally and professionally? Now,
Okay.
maybe looking more further than 2021.
Okay. Well, personally, I see me in a relationship one day, because I am single, but I see me growing with a circle, more of a circle, a larger scale of people that are in positions to help me grow and be more educated in knowledge about the things that I'm passionate about. That personally, I see me traveling more, which I do travel, but I do see me traveling out of the country. I did get my passport last year, so I'm ready. I bought me new suitcases. I'm ready to go. So I do see that coming forth. On a business level, I see my empire growing. The things that I'm doing, I see it expanding. I see people underneath me, not just volunteers at this point. I see, employees. So, I'm thinking long-term of growth, and I see me helping speak more worldwide on a business level. Yeah.
Beautiful. So before Robin is going to give us her 3 recommendations how to dominate the decade, I want to thank you who you showed up today, because by doing so, you are investing in your personal growth. And again, I really do hope that you are making notes, because those notes will be the next step to take your life forward. But Robin, which are your 3 recommendations how to dominate the decade?
Understand your potential. If you can understand what your potential is, nothing can stop you because you tap that within, right? So if you can understand what your potential is, then you can get what your purpose is, and then you can run with passion. So in order to do that, you've got to get connected. So I would say, understand what your potential is, find what your purpose is, okay? Get yourself in the room, invest in other people, okay? And then that's with your connections. And then you're going to be running passion with it, okay? That means you're going to explode. But I guess I don't know if I'm saying this the right way or not, but I do firmly believe, understand your potential, know what your purpose is, and be passionate about it. If you can do those three things, nothing can stop you.
Those are very good recommendations, because we always need to keep in mind that your narrative story about your potential is actually the result that you're going to get. So if you think that you can't, you will never. If you think that you can, you will. So very, very, very particular in there. What is your own narrative about your story, who you are, and what you will become? And you will become the best version of you. You just need to figure out, as Robin said. So, Robin, if someone wants to contact you, if someone wants to follow you, how can they do so?
Okay, well, I'm all over social media, so you can Google me, but I'm Facebook and Instagram under Robin Shockley. I'm on YouTube, Focus Forward with Robin, and Facebook, Focus Forward with Robin, as well as I've got a new website I'm working on. It should be up and running within just a few weeks, and it's robinshockley.com. So and underneath robinshockley.com, you'll be able to book me. You'll be able to read my blogs. You'll be able to hire me for different projects and things like that. So, but right now it's under all social media platforms.
Beautiful. So, Robin, what would be the last message to everybody who took the time to listen to us today?
I would say never let anyone stop you from who you are destined to be. Because if you can understand that you are valuable, you are important, and know your identity of who you are, never let anyone stop you. Even if you're not at that point of understanding who you are, get yourself connected to somebody who can help you discover it. Don't stop. Never give up and never quit. Keep growing. Keep focusing forward.
I hope that you take her words word by word and start doing it, because by really taking action today, you're able to change your life. So by doing so, you become the hero of your own life. You can also become the hero in someone else's life. How? By sharing this video, because I'm pretty sure that there's so many people that really need to hear Robin's story, and that will be a total game changer in their life. So I really, truly invite you to become the hero in your life and in someone else's life. And I will see you in our next episodes. Thank you very much for joining us today. Robin, it was a true pleasure to have you with us, and hopefully we will see you very soon again.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.